morning. This is the Wednesday morning devotional. My name is Jesse. Let's start off in prayer. Dear Lord, I thank you for this morning. I thank you for all the blessings that you pour out on us. And Lord, I pray that you would speak to each person watching this video, Father, that they would be uplifted, Father, that they would hear your voice in their heart, Lord, and be uplifted, be changed, Father, that they would know you are real, that you are good, and that you have a blessing waiting for them in your presence. In Jesus' mighty name, amen. Amen. Well, I named this devotional this morning, Secret Favor, and I wanted to turn to Matthew chapter 6 and verse 5, and this is Jesus speaking. This is part of what they call the Sermon on the Mount. And he says, "And when you pray, you shall not be like the hypocrites, for they love to pray standing in the synagogues and on the corners of the streets, that they may be seen by men. Assuredly I say to you that they have their reward. But when you pray, go into your room, and when you have shut your door, pray to your Father who is in the secret place, and your Father who sees in secret will reward you openly." And this reminds me also of Psalm 91, which says, "He who dwells in the secret place of the Most High shall abide in the shadow of the Almighty." And then it goes on to list all the protection, all the provision, all the blessing that God brings to those who dwell in the secret place of the Most High. And so what I want to talk about is the knowledge that in the secret place of prayer, there is favor with God. And we can say that we understand that or that we know that. But to really know it will lead to action in your life. What you believe, you act out. What you believe, you act out. And so, see, there's people who were praying out on the streets to look good in front of people. And see, they believed that if they looked good in front of people, they would get a reward from people, or they would be seen a certain way, right? Or they would be viewed as spiritual, they would be viewed as holy, and it would give them standing, and that's what they wanted to get out of their prayer. See, but we have an understanding that if we go into the secret place, we can have a communion with God, we can enter into His presence. And then there, instead of receiving favor from men, we can receive favor from God. And that is so much better. So much better. And I want to assert to you this morning that that's true. I want to remind you that this morning that that is true. There is blessing waiting for you in the secret place of God, in your secret time with God, in your communion with the Lord, in your time of praise, in your time of prayer, in your alone time with God, not just the corporate time in church, but in your alone time with God, there is a blessing and a favor that God will reward you openly for. And I want to challenge you, do you believe that? And I had to ask my heart, do I believe that? And because if I do believe that, I'll do that. Because if I believe in God, if I believe that His blessing, of how valuable His blessing is, if I understand the value of the blessing and the favor of God, right? If I understand that He exists and that His favor is so powerful and important, that His blessing is so real and powerful and important, that I'll spend that time in the secret place. Not in front of people, right, to gain that reward, the reward from people, the reward from men and women, the reward that comes with them viewing me in a certain way. But if I view the God as more valuable, the blessing that comes from God, the favor that comes from God, the blessing that comes just with knowing Him, the blessing that comes from just being in His presence and realizing His love for me, realizing His peace, realizing His joy, right? If I understand those things, if I really understand them, then I'll go and I'll do it, and I'll spend my time in the secret place with God, and I'll enjoy His presence, and I'll have a confidence that I'm going to be blessed, that I'm going to be taken care of, and that it's time well spent. Because the truth of the matter is that we have pulls on us in all these different directions, and we have things that we want to do. We have desires. We have rest that we want to take, right? We have demands from family, demands from friends, demands from business, demands from our own ambitions to succeed, all of these things. But our secret time with God has to be at the top of those things. Has to be important that we carve out time to spend with Him, because we understand His blessing, His favor, and who He is, and His love that we so desperately need to remind ourselves of and be reminded of, the joy, the peace that we need to experience, right? The love that we need to experience, all of these things. And so I want to remind you this morning that there's favor. The favor of God is waiting for you in the secret place. In your time alone with God, worshiping, praising, hearing His voice, speaking to Him, that's your time with God. And there's favor for you in that moment, in that place. And sometimes even for me, like we have preparations to do good works or to do good deeds or to do ministry, right? But sometimes that has to take a back burner to just spending time with Him and receiving His favor, and then doing ministry out of that favor, doing ministry out of the heart that He's given us, doing ministry out of the love that He's given us, doing ministry out of the peace that He's given us, doing ministry out of the joy that He's given us that comes from the secret place of God. And so that's a short message this morning, but it's so important. And it's something that I continually tell myself, to remind myself of how good God is and how good just spending time with Him in secret is. Amen. Amen. Dear Lord, I thank You for this morning. Lord, I pray that as I gave this word, Father, that it would strike the hearts of everyone watching this video, that Lord, that they would have an encounter with You in the secret place, in their prayer closet, in their time away, in their time alone with You. And Lord, that it would change their life, Father, and that You would give them eyes to see the favor that You're pouring out on them. In Jesus' mighty name, amen. Well, God bless you. Thank you so much for watching. And hopefully I'll see you tonight at Alabaster House. If the altar's where You meet us, take me there. What we need is just an offering. It's right here, my life is here, and I'll be